Hello and welcome back to another Gran Turismo 7 video. Originally I recorded a video last night, and with the Elgato 4K capture card, for some reason it gives you the live commentary tracks on a separately, it's on a separate like file. And when I put it into Premiere Pro to edit it, unfortunately whenever I go to make cuts, the audio would never line up precisely. So I decided today to go ahead and re-record this video. And if you're watching this content, I greatly appreciate it. I greatly appreciate you. So do me a favor and give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, share the video if you can. We are really pushing this channel to grow this year. I know that, you know, in the past I've gone off YouTube like for periods of time, but I really want to get good at this Gran Turismo stuff. Eventually good enough to enter one of these FIA championship races and make some cool streams for you guys. So, you know, do me a favor and like the content. It goes a long way. It lets me know that you guys are engaged in what I'm doing here. And so, yeah, I think we're going to get right into it. I think we're going to jump into some qualifying here in just a second. And I really wish that I could have had that live commentary audio, and I wish you guys could have seen that footage, just because you could have seen just how far I progressed in this Group 4 race. But without further ado, I think, yeah, now we're going to get into this qualifying. And all I was really trying to do here, because as you can see on the right hand side of the screen, my qualifying time is a 1:59, and previously I think my fastest time was like a 2 minute 91 millisecond time, something like that. So I've improved a lot, and my first qualifying times in both the S15 and in the Super in Group 4, those qualifying times are like 2:04s and 2:06s. So I've improved a lot. And the question I wanted to ask was, how balanced is Group 4 really in this game, especially for a car like this that's very light but underpowered? And also, you know, I think mid-engine cars that are rear-wheel drive in this game are very oversteery, and they're very, very hard to control. So I actually wanted to see what it's like to race in one of these cars. I think right now a lot of YouTubers and a lot of people are commenting on the cars that are way OP, but I kind of want to take a look at some of the cars that are not OP, some of the cars that have disadvantages, and see how they stack up in these races. And as you can see here, I'm really just trying to tidy up my laps. Like I said, I wish you guys could have seen the other footage, because these certain parts of the track, I was very just, I don't know how to put it in words, but with the steering input, I wasn't like smooth, I guess. And here, I'm really just trying to be as smooth as possible. And the fun thing I think about this car, even though that it has an oversteer problem, is once you kind of understand how it works, you can use the car's deacceleration, just coming off throttle and going on throttle to balance the oversteer. And I think I'm going to give a decent example of that in a couple of turns here as we go kind of deep. But I was really trying to see like how far I could push it with that oversteer and into some of these turns. So coming up to this turn here, we're going to come on the brakes, and coming around this next turn, I'm not going to hit the brakes. I'm just going to deaccelerate, and the car just oversteers, and then you get back on throttle and it goes straight again. So I was really trying to get good at that and managing that. And then coming into this next, I guess it's like a sweeper. Same thing, no brakes, just using the throttle to manage the oversteer, which, you know, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But for me, I was really just trying to perfect it for myself, you know. And coming out of this turn, I don't know if you guys saw like those black lines on the road. what I was finding is if you drove on those lines, use it like a guideline for the exit of the turn. For some reason, it just gives you more speed coming down the hill. So I was really trying to do that. As you can see, the car here just a little bit too much oversteer. You know, it can really get the car unsettled. So I was really, really trying my best to manage that. And the same thing through that last turn. I brake early, and then I come off the throttle, and then let the car steer in itself essentially. And it's really cool how you can do that. And I know it's a thing that you can do in real life. But you know, I don't have much track experience, if any, and I haven't like driven like race cars on the track. So these types of things, to see it and to see how it works and see how you can do it, is it's pretty cool. I think here we're just gonna get too much of the curb and hit the wall. The curbs in this game, sometimes you can take them and sometimes you really can't. You just gotta be careful. And then here, coming to this turn, got on the power a little bit too early, and I guess I got 4 wheels off, and then I caught a penalty right here. So decided to restart again. And the reason I'm putting these laps in is to get the seat time, to get the circuit experience, but to also get the driving experience, as you guys hear my wheel turning off. But I think after that, we did like a 2-minute flat, and we're gonna get right into these races now after what seems to be an eternity. So if you're still watching this video, again, I appreciate you, and I would appreciate you guys liking the video, commenting on the video, subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. As I said, and I keep saying, I want this thing to grow, but I don't want to feel like I'm begging, you know what I'm saying, for you guys to sub. But you know, if you could, I would appreciate it. So we start this race 4th, and here I'm thinking, because of my previous races, as Putin stops Putin seriously and stops racing, I really just want to have a clean first lap. I think in every race that I've had in this game so far, I haven't had a clean first lap. I think you can go back and check my other daily race videos, and I think you can see that didn't have any clean first laps, and that's going to be the same here. As I get bumped off by Dez in the, I believe it was Dez in the Bugatti, and I get bumped again by, who was this? JD Comment. So we got bumped twice, unfortunately. So now we're down a couple of positions, and we're trying to, you know, work our way back into the race, and we go just a bit wide as someone else falls off the track, hits the wall, enters the shadow round, and gets a penalty for it. And I think coming through here, we're gonna have a near miss where that guy, I think, was really trying to use my car as a brace to slow himself down. And I think sometimes, like with this game, I think they should look at the penalty system. I think, like, if you bump somebody off the track, like deliberately, like you just didn't slow down, I think the penalties need to be a lot longer, because sometimes, especially if you're in a car that's underpowered, and I know like that's my fault for being in an underpowered car, but the time that you lose going off track isn't the same amount of time that they're going to serve in a penalty. So they're going to bump you off track and keep moving. Meanwhile, you're standing still. As I bump into this guy, and I just managed to not hit the wall and get my own penalty. And as you can see here, you know, we're just going to lose a ton of time down the straight. But like what I was saying though about the penalties, I think they need to be even longer, because you're losing so much time down the straights and in general, right? So you're just gonna lose so much time. As I forget to brake, you know, I forgot that using the brakes going into turn 1 is a thing. But we eventually caught back up, and here, pretty much what I was telling myself at this point, I was like, okay, I don't want to, be too aggressive. I think I missed my braking point again, and I go off track. Yep, just forgot to use the brakes in turn one. I mean, who would have thought, right? Do it 2 laps in a row. I mean, braking in turn one is pretty important. You gotta brake. It's one of the biggest braking zones on the track, and you got to get that one right. If not any of them, at least get that one right. And here we were able to catch back up. So I think I was a lot better than this guy was here in the Group 4 Mustang. And it was here actually that I was telling myself to not be like overly aggressive. Just stay behind him and just kind of put the pressure on him, let him know that you're there, and let him make his own mistake, which I think he does. And so I hop out of the slipstream, and I think I hop back into the slipstream because I didn't want to get too close to him to where I was going to have an incident going into this turn. And I even braked early, gave him plenty of space, because you can see his car's beat up, and he's already had some, he's not afraid to get the paint dirty. And like I said, I didn't want to have any more incidents, losing more time in this race, and possibly getting DNF'd again. So I definitely don't want to get DNF'd. And here my strategy worked, as he just drifts off track. He did what I did. I think he just forgot to use the brakes, as I came through that corner forgetting how to use my gears. But we're gonna come through here, and we're gonna gain the position. I'm not sure if anything else happened on this lap in particular. So we're gonna cross the line, 4 laps to go. I think we're gonna skip ahead here. Yep, this is gonna be the end of the race, and we're gonna finish in 7th. So from 4th to 7th, we went backwards, but the good news is we didn't get DNF'd, and we didn't finish like 14th like I had been earlier in the series. And we got a 4-star ticket, so we're gonna open that at the end of the video. And I did more time trials. You guys don't need to see that. So we're gonna hop into this next race. That I don't know why words are so hard for me. You'd think I'd be able to talk right trying to be on YouTube, as I upshifted because I didn't know if the game was going to upshift for me. So the game upshifted, I upshifted, and now even with this car being as slow as it is, now we're under attack on the first lap, as that guy's going to go deep, which I pretty much expected. So I said there, essentially, there was no need for me to defend that corner, because I could just take the normal racing line and undercut him on the way out. Here, I thought I was going to get rammed off the track, but I didn't. Thank goodness. And here we're just going to lift off and let the car turn itself and get back on the throttle, come down, 2nd gear. And I think we're going to do decent through this corner. This kind of long sweeping left. Someone gets, I think that's Firestorm, is off the track. Well, not Firestorm. Firestorm's the one that rams us with the vicious ram off the track. It seems I just can't stop getting rammed. Pause. Now here, you guys can see up ahead, there's a lot of fighting going on up there, which I don't really understand, especially considering we still have, just over like 9 laps to do still. I don't understand why these guys are fighting. So through that corner, I actually slowed down a little bit because I didn't want to catch up to him too quick. As you can see, well, not here. They're still all kind of fighting very, very close, jockeying for position. And again, I slowed down a little bit there too, as a bunch of cars are going to go off. Karu is going to get a penalty right here, even though that guy was already spinning out, because he made contact and the guy was already spinning out. he got a penalty, and I couldn't believe it because, I mean, he was already spinning out. So Karu is going to get a 5-second penalty for that. And that really wasn't his fault because the other guy hit the other guy off the track. He got a penalty, and he was spinning out. And because he didn't ghost in time, Karu gets slapped with a 5-second penalty. See, it works, man. I'm telling you, like, I need someone to help me with words. Please help me with words. But he's going to get that penalty, and we're going to take back 10th position, the position that we started in after being rammed. So I wonder if I didn't get rammed, if I would have been off the track in that position at that turn where Karu got that penalty, or if I would have been further ahead. Like, we'll never know because, you know, I got rammed and going into that, I think that it's a hairpin turn, I think. So we're gonna cross the line here in 10th position, lap 3 of 10, and you can just see like how much time this car loses down the straights. But I think I'm gonna give another example of that later on in the race with the Atenza. Like that car is just way too OP. Like I said, I know a lot of guys are using it, and you can see here, just look how much time I'm losing to that Atenza on the straights. Look how much speed it has. Like, I went from a second to into the turn 6 tenths on a straight. Just look how that thing is crazy on the straights. I don't know how it handles. I haven't driven that car yet. I think I might buy it at some point once we start, you know, racking up the credits. I mean, this guy, I think I'm better through the turns, and even though he gets like, he takes poor exits and poor lines. I mean, I have poor exits and poor lines too, but that doesn't matter just because his car has so much more speed on the straights. And I think coming into this hairpin right here, we're really gonna see that. So right now he's 2 seconds ahead going into this turn right here. 2 seconds. Now look. 2.6, 2.7, 2.8. 3 seconds ahead by the time he gets down into that turn. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my goodness, like if my qualifying time was like a 1:59, I just wonder with practice how much higher I could have qualified in the Atenza. Now here I was 6 seconds back, right? And through this long sweeper, I think the Atenza had like a little bit of an accident because he's ghosted right there. I think he might have spun or something. And we're gonna get close again. We're gonna get within, I think, 2.9 seconds. You can just see coming out of this turn, coming down this straight, and I had a really good exit. That was a really good exit, but it doesn't matter. Like, he just gained so much time coming down that hill. Over 3 seconds. That Atenza is OP. Like, I definitely agree with that sentiment. And we're gonna cross the line in 10th place. We didn't get DNF'd. We didn't lose positions. We didn't gain any. So I think, you know, we're making progress. We're making progress. And we got a clean race. So we're going to get 27,000 credits. And I think that's a good amount of credits to get. And we're going to open this roulette ticket here. And we got an engine. Compatible with the Sylvia Spec R Aero. I have that car. So the next episode is going to be the build series with the Spec R. We're gonna put the new engine in the car. We're gonna see what engine it is, and maybe do a drift build. I don't know how to drift, so maybe I can learn that too. Now that I kind of understand this oversteer thing. But let me know what you guys think about the Group 4 Alfa Romeo 4C. Is it the worst car for Group 4? I think that's going to depend on the track. I think a track like that has a lot of straights, it's not going to be good for it. But if there's like a smaller track that has a lot of turns, I think, you know, the Alfa Romeo 4C will be good. And I think what I want to do in the future is avoid the OP cars and use some of the cars that don't have the best balance for the tracks, and just kind of see how those cars do and how they stack up against the almighty Atenza. And also, I'm thinking about doing a personal story time style video. So if you guys want to see that, comment down below. And if you made it to this point, like, really, I appreciate you like so much. It means a lot to me. So leave your recommendations down in the description of the video, not the description, but in the comment section. And that's gonna be my time, guys. And like I said, I have so much appreciation and gratitude for you guys watching the video this long. And that's gonna be my time, guys. And I will see you all in the next one. Peace.